Guys, it's FX with Black Flag Trading. It's August 22nd, 2017. It's about 8:10 Central Time at night. So, really quick, I've had some requests on my Facebook page about scalping. Okay, so everybody kind of knows that I swing trade. I do 4-hour chart at a minimum, dailies typically. But I just wanted to show you that there's no real difference between a setup is a setup. I just don't bother with scalping anymore. I haven't done it in so long. I mean, rarely if I have a little nice setup, maybe if I have some time, yeah. But you want to move towards swing trading, guys, eventually. Okay, I understand some of you don't really have the grasp of the larger setups and time frames yet, but that's fine. You want to scalp, you can scalp. Okay, and I'll show you. So. Again, there was a request, a few requests on Facebook to do a little scalping video. So there's the 5-minute chart of the pound yen. Very simple. So typically, same rules apply. We had a little uptrend here on the pound yen. It got broken. So what do we say in this case? Because that's when the opportunity starts, in my opinion. I mean, it's when the trend breaks. I mean, I'm a trend trader as well, but I like counter trading more, because once something turns, okay, once a trend is broken, even if it's just short term, it creates an opportunity to trade. Okay, it's usually going to turn around. And if you know the setups, then you can spot those. So we had an upward trend line, it got broken. So what do we say? Let it come back to the back side of that broken trend line, and also a Fibonacci retracement level, which is the 50% here. And then, let me take this out. So for your targets, we know that the 127 and the 1618 is what you want to go for, right? Well, what I do, I kind of combine these extension levels on this down A, B, C, D move, because we're looking south now. Okay, even if this goes up eventually, it doesn't matter. This is what scalping is. Short term, I think we're going south for a little bit, for a few minutes. So you want to draw, to really be accurate, you want to draw these up Fibonacci's from the last swing low to high before the break of the trend, and you want to pick a level in between those two targets. So we know that to see where the correlation is. Okay, so we know that 127 and 1618 are the target for this A, B, C, D. But look, if you draw these Fibonacci's up from this to this, then you'll see that the 618 retracement of this swing falls right between those levels. So let's go for that. So we got in at about 140.56. We're going for 140.30. So 26 pips. Okay, we'll see what happens. But like I said, you can scalp, guys. You can scalp. It's just, to me, it's really not worth my time. I did that for quite a long time, and I was very good at it, because I used that in the beginning to build my account balance up. You can do that. You can ride this thing all day up and down. It just took a lot out of me. I mean, I have a business that I run, so I have a family. That's a full-time job. So you gotta find a balance. So that's why I eventually moved to swing trading, because I think those swings on the larger time frames are much better, in my opinion. But like I said, you can scalp, man. There's no difference. A setup is a setup. The rules are the same, whether it's a weekly chart or a 5-minute chart. I mean it. So we're short the pound yen. Let's see what happens. We'll check back in a few minutes here, and I'll keep you guys posted. Bye. All right, so here we go. About 2 hours later, our target was hit perfectly, basically. Did a little sideways movement, but the backside of the trend line held. So there you go. I mean, 30 pips. It took 2 hours, guys. That's why I say, and that was on the 5-minute chart. And this is a pair that moves. The pound yen moves. So imagine with other major pairs, the dollar pairs. I mean, you're gonna take longer. So my point is this: a setup is a setup. You can trade these across all time frames. Okay, but so the analysis is the same. But in my opinion, in my honest opinion, trust me, I've done this before. I did this for years in the beginning, and I'm telling you, you know, most of you guys in the beginning, especially, you're gonna have jobs. You're gonna have a day job. You might have a business. You might have families. Might have things you want to do. And I'm telling you, there is just no reason to wait 2 hours for 30 pips. Would you rather wait 2 hours for 30 pips, or would you rather? Let me see. Here's what I got out on the dollar Canadian that I called in 3 months ago. 1,600 pips for 138. I mean, in 3 months. So a lot here would be $16,000, or an average of roughly $5,300 a month. Okay, or the yen, which we did, if you remember. That was the other swing trade. We bought this 115 level to 129, another 1,400 pips in roughly about 2.5 months. Canadian yen, 4 hour, well, daily chart, we bought here. Our target hasn't been hit yet. It's 90, but I'm out currently because I did sense a little pullback. There's no need to waste time and money and waiting for this thing to resume. Eventually we will hit 90, I promise you, but you know, you can get out after a certain amount of pips, whatever you're happy with, within those legs, within those ABCDs, and then getting on a dip again if that setup is confirmed. We know we're going to go there eventually, so any dip you can buy it again for a shorter amount of holding time. So because time is money, you don't want to have money tied up into something that's just going up and down and you waste 3-4 weeks on it. So that's my point. My point is you want to find something that frees you up, okay? Because look, this was a 2-hour trade. You're not going to stay, I mean, I hope you don't. You're not going to stay 2 hours for 30 pips on a scalp trade. I mean, it worked out perfectly, but it's not worth your time. A mini lot here, like I did, is $30. I mean, $30 is $30, but in my opinion, it's just not worth it. Because what I did, I mean, I just got back from Starbucks, but you know, I'm not gonna watch this 2 hours here. I got way too much shit to do. But so if you set this trade, okay, nice setup, we sold, it went there. But if you set it and forget it, so to speak, in other words, if you get in it, put your little stop, your target, like I did, and go do something else. Well, it's the same concept with swing trading. It's just better, because if you're gonna let it work out anyway and do something else in between, because I'm telling you, you don't want to be here 2 hours for 30 pips. You don't, okay? Because then you're gonna push it. You're gonna push another trade right off the bat, and it doesn't work like that. You can't ride this shit up and down all day like this, okay? There has to be specific structures that you follow. So my point is, it worked out perfectly because a good setup is a good setup, regardless of the time frame. So yes, here's the answer basically to you know, how do we scalp? You scalp the same way as I do everything else, but what you get in terms of free time and freeing yourself up so you can do something else productive, whether it's your job, whether it's learning something else, whether it's just spending time with your family, or whether it's golfing, which is what I've taken up lately. I've completely sold out. I used to think it was the worst game in the world. I'm completely hooked now. But my point is, the whole point of making some money on the side is to free yourself up. It's not to enslave yourself any more than you already are. So that's why I am a believer in swing trading, and by swing trading I mean anything from 3 to 4 days up to a month. And if you have setups that are so clear like these that we got on the euro yen, the 1,400 pips, yeah, well, so what if it takes 2.5 months? Wouldn't you wait 2.5 months for 1,400 pips? At $7,500 on a half lot size, which is typically what I trade. It's 14,000 on a standard lot. Whoever's got a larger account, you know, 100,000 plus, can put 2-3 standard lots here. That would have been a $35,000 trade in 3 months. Why wouldn't you wait for these? And you just monitor it from time to time you check it, you make sure everything's still set, everything's still confirmed and respected. So you just keep an eye on it. Yeah, you want to monitor it like that, but it's just not worth it, in my opinion, to spend 2 hours looking at this shit. It's not. The same thing that I did here, which is I sold and I went and did something else and just came back and my target was hit. The same thing you're going to do on the larger trades, on the larger time frames. You remember this call from a few months ago. I hope you do, because I called this perfectly. This is a different title, sorry. This is the original title. We sold at 137. We sold right here. Look where it's at. The dollar Canadian, I told you, was going to crash at that level. We're at, I mean, it went as low as 124 at one point. 1,400 pips on this weekly setup, daily setup. So it's up to you, man. It's whatever works with you. In my opinion, even if you do have the time, which I don't, okay? But even if you do have the time to spend watching these all day, in my opinion, it's still not worth it. I've been there, done that. When I really started taking off, I was making $500 to $1,000 a day, almost every day for like a few months. And I was literally, I mean, I couldn't go to the bathroom without bringing my iPhone with me and checking the chart. I was completely glued to it. It wasn't worth it. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Especially because I was being a little aggressive on the trades. And when you have that much money in place, at play, you're going to get a little emotional. You can't let go of it. You keep watching it. You keep watching it. You don't want that. I'm telling you, you don't want that. And you don't need to do that. Swing trading is king. I promise you. You want to do something that frees you up, that cuts out the volatility, and essentially gets you 10 times the amount of pips with a 1/10 the amount of time that's required to watch these. Okay, so it's just a no-brainer. Okay, you can find your own balance. Everybody's different, but I mean, I've done that. I've done the scalping game, and I'm telling you, I mean, yeah, you can still make money, but it's just not worth it for me. 30 pips to stay here 2 hours in front of the laptop. It's not. It's not. So anyway, but since you guys asked for it, I just did a video, little 5-minute trade here. So yes, the answer is yes. You can scalp the same setups. A setup is a setup regardless of the time frame. But again, you got to find your balance, guys. And in my opinion, you know that I'm a big fan of this. You want to move towards mid-term to long-term swing trades because it frees you up. The structure is a little more solid. The setups are better. I mean, look at this. Look at this crown here. Look at this head and shoulders here. I mean, right at that trend line, right corner, back side of the trend line here, or the broken trend line. I mean, we're looking at 142. I mean, I'm telling you guys, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. You wanna move towards larger time frames as you get better at this. Okay, you'll thank me for it one day. I promise you. So again, here's the pound yen. The 5-minute setup we just did. We sold at 140.50 roughly right here. And got out at 140.30, 31, whatever, 20 pips. So there you go. It took 2 hours, but we got it. All right, bye.